welcome back to the Coding Hub. In today's video, we will have a look at how to resolve merge conflicts. Now, in the screen in front of you, you will be able to see a very simple example that I've set up here for us. In this pull request that you can see here, you can see that I've made a very small change to line 17 in the .gitignore file, where I've changed .log to .logs. And I have another branch where I have made a very similar change to the exact same line of code. So if we have a look at this commit here, we'll have a look that on line 17 I've made the change from .log to .logged. I have then created a pull request to master, which is not aware of the changes that have happened to master. And you can see here that in Bitbucket it tells us this pull request can't be merged, you will need to resolve conflicts to be able to merge. You can see here the issue is displayed in front of us. Now, in order to fix this merge conflict, you will need to clone the repository. Presume you already have that done, but yeah, you would need to clone the repository locally and then open it in your Git manager or your IDE of choice. In this case, for me, it's Visual Studio Code. It makes managing Git conflicts quite easy. And you can see here we're on the master branch, and the .logs is in here. Now, what you would need to do is go to the branch from which you are merging into. So the first thing you need to make sure is the branch that you're merging to, so in this case master, needs to have the latest changes on it. So make sure you pull the latest changes to the branch that you're merging into first. Then go to the branch that you'll be merging from. So in this case, updating gitignore. Okay, and we can see our change here has just been updated to .logged. Now, what you will need to do is then say, I want to merge. So if we go to branch, merge branch, and then we will select master. And you can see here we have a conflict. So we then click on this, and we basically need to decide what changes we want to make, because we have both of these. So if we double click on this, you basically have to choose whether you want to merge from the incoming changes or keep the current changes. Now, this could be completely up to you. So it really depends on a case-by-case, case-by-case scenario. So if you want to just accept all the incoming changes or all the current changes, you can do that by just right-clicking and selecting that, or you can just do it on a case-by-case scenario. So in this case, we've only got one change, so we can do accept both changes, which will give us both of them, or we can do accept incoming changes, which will basically take master, or we can accept current changes, which are the changes that we made into our branch. Now, if we had more than one thing in here, we'd be able to do this for every single line of code, and you have to do it on a case-by-case scenario for each change. But let's assume that for this particular one, we want to take the changes that we made, then click save, and then we stage our changes and leave this as merge, this commit message. So we then commit it, and then we push. Type in our password. the merge conflicts. That's because it's big, isn't it? Okay, so it's been a little bit annoying. I can't recognize the changes that have happened. But you know, this is just an example of how to fix your merge conflicts. Unfortunately, Git was having a bit of an issue of understanding what the changes happened. So if we refresh this now, there we go. You see that it's managed to resolve the conflict, and it's going to change it from logs to logged. So that is the best way to resolve your merge conflicts if you have any on your project. Now, to avoid merge conflicts, I would highly recommend that you make sure that your code is highly abstract, and if you're working with multiple developers, that you are working on different components in order to not interact with each other as much as possible. So make sure your tasks are self-contained to a particular part of the code, and so are his. If you're finding that a lot of changes are being made to the same files, then it's highly likely that you have particular files or classes in your repository that are not very abstract, and they hold a lot of logic that can potentially be split out into separate different files and classes. So if you're finding that is the case with your repository, make sure you refactor and have a look at those problematic files that are being edited by a lot of people. But you know, in files like this, where it's like a git ignore file or a project file, you know, it is common to get merge conflicts, but they shouldn't be very often. But you know, sometimes it can be, it can happen that you will get these kind of merge conflicts on these type of files that you can't really split out. So I hope this video helped you understand how to resolve your merge conflicts. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye bye.